Hello students, welcome to MJC Learning. Today we will continue with part 5 of Public Finance in India. This is chapter number 8 of Economics and this is the last video of this chapter. Let's get started. Now in earlier video you have already learned about public expenditure, public revenue, public debt, fiscal policy. In this video we are going to understand about financial administration. What do we understand the term by the term financial administration? Financial administration is something where government has to admin or government has to look after the financial department, that is public expenditure, public revenue and public debt. That means government has to take care of its income, its expenses, and in certain cases where government does not have that much amount, then government also has to take care of public debt, that is borrowing from the other sources. That is called as financial administration. So that has to be there. If financial administration is done properly, then only government can spend money in different work and also for the welfare of people. Let us see the fifth structure, that is financial administration. A smooth and efficient implementation of revenue, expenditure, and debt policy of the government is referred to as financial administration. This includes preparation and implementation of the government budgets along with overall growth of the country. Now, when government has to admin financial situation of the country, that is government has to look after the expense, the income source, the expense source, and also the debt, that is public debt, if in case of government does not have enough funding. Now for that government needs to make a budget, like how your parents make a budget, monthly budget for expenditure, how much income they receive. Against that income they make list of or they make budgeting of their expenditure. Same way, even government has to make a budget for the country's betterment. Government just cannot keep on starting new projects, spending more money, and then government, in case of emergency, government will say, now I don't have any money, now we don't have any money, now everyone has to suffer. The government can't do that, right? So in uh, this situation should not arise. For that government makes budget, and this budget government sees how much money is receiving, that is income part, that is revenue part, then against that how much income, how much money government is spending, that is expenditure part. And when if government has to start with some projects, and if government is in some, or a country is in some emergency period, and government country needs government needs money to spend, then in that case government can borrow money from internal and external sources. The word budget is derived from the French word budget, which means a bag or wallet containing the financial proposals. Budget is an important instrument of financial administration through which all the financial affairs of the state are regulated. As I told you, budget has to be is very important in case of whether it is for household purpose or whether it is for country's purpose. Financial administration, for a smooth financial administration, budget has to be prepared, where everything has to be regulated. Regulated means everything has to be taken care. In India, a financial year is from 1st April to 31st March. Let us see revenue and capital budget. Revenue budget, that is comprising of revenue income, that is revenue receipt, and revenue expenditure of the government. Now revenue receipt, are divided into tax and non-tax revenue. Now revenue means where government is receiving money. Now we are talking about right now revenue budget. Revenue budget means where government is receiving money. So in that also government needs to make a budget that how much money government is receiving, and in through which sources government is receiving this money. So revenue receipts are divided into tax and non-tax revenue. Now we have already seen in earlier videos that government receives money through tax and through non-tax sources. Tax is direct tax and indirect tax. That is whatever we pay on income tax, our income, that is income tax will be your direct tax. Then whatever you are paying on your goods and services, that is GST for example, will be your indirect tax. So by that way government is receiving money. And there are other non tax sources like fines, penalties, fees, gifts, grants, donation, through which this way also government is receiving money. So this becomes revenue receipts, and that is divided into tax and non-tax revenue. Then revenue expenditure comprises of interest. Now here we are talking about expenditure. So that is interest paid on government borrowing, subsidies and grants given to the state government. So if government gives grants or subsidies or borrowings to the state government, so whatever interest rate government gets on that, that will be government's revenue expenditure. Now let us see capital budget. The capital budget again consists of capital receipts and capital expenditure, that is capital payments. Capital receipts are government loans raises from the public and Reserve Bank of the India. If government takes loans from the public and the Reserve Bank of India, or disinvestment of equity holding in the public sector enterprises, loans received from the foreign government and other foreign bodies, state deposit funds, special deposit, etc., will be considered as capital receipt. That is, government is receiving money. This is called as capital receipts. Then comes capital payments, refers to the capital expenditure on various developmental projects. So where government is spending on the various projects, that is investment by the government. If government does some investment, then loans given to the state government. Government is giving loan to the state government for some project work or for starting some new industry, and government companies, corporations and other parties. So if government is giving money for such reasons, that will be considered as capital payments. So when we here we have learned about revenue and capital budget. Revenue budget consists of revenue receipt and revenue expenditure. Same way even capital budget is consisting of capital receipts and capital expenditure or capital payments. So revenue receipts where government gets money in way of tax and non-tax revenue sources, and expenditure where there is government interest paid on government borrowing. So if government is borrowing some money from the state government, government has to pay interest on that. So that means government is spending the money, that will be considered as expenditure. And also if government is giving grants to the state government, that is main government is giving grants to the grants means some type of concessions to the state government, that will also be the expenditure from government side. So this is under revenue expenditure. And capital budget, again capital receipt and capital payments. Capital receipt is public and loans which is raises from the public and Reserve Bank of India. If government gets loans, that means government is receiving money. Then again if the loan is received from the foreign government, so again government is receiving money, that will be considered as capital receipts. And capital expenditure or capital payment will be considered as where government is spending money on various developmental projects on various industries. Let us see types of budgets. There are three types of budget: balance budget, surplus budget and deficit budget. Now as the name suggests, balance budget where government receipts and government expenditure is equal. That means it is balanced budget. So government budget is said to be balanced when estimated revenue and expenditure of the government are equal. It was considered as neutral in its effect on the working of the economy, and hence they regarded it as the best. It is considered as the best because where government receipt and government expenditure are equal. Modern economists, however, believe that this policy of balanced budget may not always be suitable for the economy. The modern governments are welfare entities and hence they cannot keep their expenditure at the level of their receipts. That means when we talk about modern government, that is government is working for the betterment of the people, welfare of the people. So in most of the cases, if we talk about balanced budget, that would not be possible, because always when we talk about welfare of the people, government has to spend more for the people. So here there are actually chances where government's income or government's receipt is less than government's expenditure, because government has to start new industries, government has to start with new government has to come up with new good schools, hospitals, and different other organizations. So in this situation, most of the times it happens that government's receipt is always less than government's expenditure, but this is considered as the best budget policy, that is balanced budget. Then comes surplus budget. Now, government budget is said to be surplus when estimated government's expenditure and that is government's receipt is more than government's expenditure. Now, when we talk that surplus means something is remaining after spending. So, when government's receipt or government's income is more than government's expenditure. So, when there is in case of inflation type of situation in the market, then this type of budget will prove beneficial. However, a surplus budget should not be used in the situation other than inflation, as it may lead to unemployment and low level of output in an economy. If government has surplus money left, that is after spending, after expenditure, after doing expenses, if government has left money, surplus money with them, then it should not happen that the government is using for some other purposes for the people who are unemployed. Then what will happen? Those who are already unemployed, they will not start working because government is already providing them with money. So rather in only in case of inflation, this type of budget should be used, and not in all cases, or else it can lead to unemployment. Then comes deficit budget. Now here, as the name says, deficit, there is uh, when receipt is less and expenditure is more. Government budget is said to be deficit when anticipated government receipts are less than the government's anticipated expenditure, estimated government's expenditure. A deficit budget may prove useful during the period of depression. Depression means deflation. If there is some situation, then deficit budget will be useful. In modern times, deficit budget is most commonly implemented policy of the government. So deficit budget, it will prove useful during the period of depression, because in the period of depression all economic activities are at low level, all economic activities slow down. So what happens? This results in unemployment. This can be checked by increasing government's expenditure by borrowing money. Now what does government do? Government's expenditure increases. How government extends its expenditure? By borrowing money and through deficit financing. So this will increase, what will happen to this? This will increase employment and aggregate effective demand for goods and services. And further, if there is employment increase in the employment and there is increase in the effect demand for goods and services, this will encourage investment. So deficit budget is the most commonly implemented policy of any government. Developing countries like India have consistently resorted to deficit budget technique for economic development. Now let us see importance of budget. Union budget is important because it affects people and economy general in number of ways. Union budget is important because it affects people and economy in general in number of ways. Taxes determine the fate of business and individuals. Taxes determine the fate, that is as per what people are working accordingly they pay taxes, that is we are talking about direct tax. So or else suppose if we talk about indirect tax, that is GST. So if a producer is producing something, then accordingly that producer will charge taxes on the product. Government's expenditure on various heads such as defense, administration, infrastructure, education, healthcare, etc. affects the lives of the citizen and overall economy. Now, government can spend on all these activities, that is education, healthcare, infrastructure, where only when government has enough of money. So, and finally, if government is having enough of money, then only government can spend on these activities, and it can lead to the overall growth in the economy and overall good lives of the people of the country. Budget is important because government use it as a medium for implementing economic policies in the country. It is very much important. Budget is very much important because all economic activities, all economic policies will be formed according to the government's budget. So, for example, if government has to come out with any economic policy or any policies which is betterment for the country, directly cannot government start with the project, but government has to make a budget, and accordingly government has to start with any policy. Budgetary actions of the government affect production, size and distribution of income, and utilization of human and material resources of the country. So if government makes budget and accordingly government starts working on that, that will depend on how much budget government is ready to spend, how much expenditure government is ready to make, and accordingly government will start with the work. So thus the scope and importance of public finance in modern economy has undergone an immense change since last 100 years. So by this we finished chapter number 8. There are 5 parts of the same chapter. Do refer to this. Thank you so much.